Welcome, Scorpio. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your new moon in Scorpio reading. The new moon in Scorpio is on November the 13th. So we have a little time before that. It is a time when all of us collectively are being asked to look at the many deep lessons we've gained from, in some cases, our very stringent, harsh realities, and to make the changes that are needed in order to prepare ourselves for Pluto, your ruling planet's transition into Aquarius in early 2024. So we're wrapping up a major cycle of decades of healing. So let's get started with your overall energy. Before we look at your cards, I would ask you if you would like this channel. If you enjoy the video, share it with someone else who might find it useful. Comment below. I enjoy reading your thoughts, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot, because it helps me do what I do. So your overall energy is the Ten of Swords, so in keeping with the actual journey that you have been on. As I mentioned, depending on your time in life, Pluto has been in Capricorn, your ruling planet, for almost a 20-year cycle. So that this is at least a decade's efforts on your part of consciously releasing old beliefs and patterns that no longer serve you. This can be your relinquishing the expectations of others, of your parents, of your authorities in your life, teachers, even those who you know intended the best for you. You've lived long enough, you've had enough experience of the failures that resulted in your performing or conforming to expectation to understand that your path is a different one. These beliefs do not resonate or align with who you are or what you desire to accomplish in this life. You are at the end. This is a letting go experience, really releasing and allowing yourself to let these old experiences of failures, to detach yourself from them and realize that from these many experiences, you have learned invaluable lessons that are clearing the way to your conforming or aligning yourself with a new set of beliefs that more accurately reflects the world that you want to create. In the 10th house, this is the house of your social identity, the way others see you, the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is about having a lot of options. It also indicates that a lot of these options are as much of projections about the things that may be a sort of gratification around assuaging yourself, soothing yourself from these experiences that you've had. This can even be a sense of vengeance or revenge, getting back at, or having escapist fantasies or relationships that take you out of a kind of dull or numbing reality that you've experienced of ongoing failures, apparently no matter how hard you worked. But this overwhelm of seeming gratifying opportunities, you know, are not all beneficial or positive or equal. And you may also be aware that the confusion that you experience can be distracting from the path that you're intended to cultivate for yourself now. In the first house, we have the Nine of Cups. And this is in part your perspective on the effort to move forward. This is you really celebrating yourself through the release of old experiences of failure and disappointment. You are almost automatically or magically experiencing a sense of emotional abundance and richness as a result of prioritizing yourself, your talents, your interests, your friends, your goals in a way that is somewhat unexpected. It has taken at least this amount of energy and self-love, self-attention, care, devotion to your own interests and talents to overcome this change, this transformation, to get through this. So that in many ways you feel buoyed up and pleased with yourself at the process that you've undergone to experience this. In the fourth house, I'm laughing at the sun because this is the ultimate card of happiness and fulfillment. Some consider it the happiest card in the deck. And as I was turning this card over, I was thinking that the Nine of Cups is also a wish fulfillment, as is the Sun card. So there's something through your ability to release all of these, this sense of failure. Doesn't necessarily mean that everything you've done hasn't worked out or it's been a failure. What it means is perhaps many of the successes you've had, when you've conformed to the expectations of others, left you with less than a satisfying feeling of accomplishment. As you've turned your attention to your talents, your needs, your desires, and contemplated the options as a result of that, you are prioritizing who you are, your authentic needs and desires. This can also be gaining a connection to your heart, to your desire state, recognizing that the efforts you make, you want to enjoy. It's not simply enough to work hard at something, but in order to enjoy, to engage yourself creatively in that work, you must find pleasure in it, find value in it. And you're bringing your sunshine, your heart to your efforts, elevates others, reminds the whole entire team or collective or family of the real sacred mission of the work that you do. What is important? What is the service that you're providing? That's why you're here. That's what makes you happy. Your own happiness lifts up the boats of all. So this is a message that's coming through for everybody. And that is what impacts the sense and satisfaction of feeling good and rewarded for the efforts that you're making. In the seventh house, this is the house of your significant relationships, and it's a second 7. This 7 is really, again, a confirmation that you're on your path, as 7s quite often are. They are the number of the planet. They're the number of our physical reality. They're the number of illusion. And for some spiritualists, they're the number of the star of sorrow, which is the planet Earth. Having centered your desires and your array of potential possibilities, you are setting clear and firmer boundaries, ironically. You're learning to stand up for yourself because you're now zoning in on the things that you do well, the things you want to be successful in, the things you're divinely gifted in. And as a result of that, you are achieving a kind of liberation. Remember, 7s are also a reflection of the Chariot card, which is the number 7. And that card speaks about finding your personal liberation as a result of not trying to fix everything in your world, not trying to solve problems for others, but really focusing on the things that will gain you the achievement, the success, and the happiness that you desire. The 9 of Cups in the first house is clarified by the 9 of Pentacles in the second house and the 9 of Swords in the third house. You've definitely learned to manage your resources so that you are abundant. You maximize the value of everything you have, everything you've worked for, in order to establish yourself independently. You've cultivated your garden. You know how to use your resources so that you experience abundance in your own space, your own protected endeavors. You are in a position to invest. That's how prosperous you feel. And that has nothing to do with being wealthy or being less than wealthy or actually humble. It has everything to do with your sense of enjoying, valuing what you have earned, valuing who you are and the worth of your skills and your efforts. This is helping you to open up to new ideas about your belief system, the ideas and values that are important to you, and ways that you can communicate that with real genuine curiosity among your intimates. You're opening up the way you're processing information, and I, again, am feeling this is particularly valuable for those of you that are writers or creatives, that you're documenting your process, you're documenting your story or your journey in some specific regard in a way that is uniquely valuable for others on a similar path. The Sun card in the fourth house is clarified by the Ace of Cups in the fifth house and the Hierophant in the sixth house. Teacher, yes. Whatever you're learning, whatever you're gaining is not only opening you up to the richness of your talents, your compassion, your ability to heal, put your attention and concern towards the things that matter. So your health is likely to be rejuvenated. Some of you may be pregnant. Some of you may be starting a family. Many of you are creating important works of art or important new beginnings in your creative process. Whatever it is you're learning, you're making sure that you're sharing it with others. You may actually be a teacher. You may be involved in institutions or collaborations where you are making skills or certification available to others, but you are showing others the way. You are teaching others how to gain what you have gained and how to do that on their own terms. You have absorbed a really powerful lesson in releasing all of these old beliefs, all of these old allegiances and expectations. It's not about throwing relationships away. It's about accepting that whoever imposed these expectations on you was often done as a labor of love. It's what our parents do when they think they know how we can best be successful or happy by boxing us in a way that they think will keep us safe. And of course, as so many of us experience, they don't know, they can't know. But also that this was not always done maliciously, but it's your power to realign your beliefs, to reshift expectations of your own for your own potential that has been the key to what it is you have to offer to others, what has opened up your fountain of joy, of love, of compassion, and this creative fountain and pool for you to be eternally replenished. The Seven of Wands in the seventh house is clarified by the World in the eighth house and the Five of Wands in the ninth house. You're definitely closing out a cycle of accomplishment. This can be in how you've utilized resources with another, how you've shared a particular set of values or resources, investments. This can be the way in which a legacy or an inheritance has been dispensed that is closing out, and that can be part of the release, the necessity, or the availability that you have to let go of restrictions that may have accompanied this money that you received, the strings that were attached to that. Whatever it is, you have achieved something that's being noted, being rewarded, and being acknowledged by others. But you're very aware that the skills you've gained are only in preparation for this new journey that you're on. Again, the creative potential here is through the roof. You're investing in something. It can be literally a family, and I can't think of anything more creative than that. But also for those of you that are artists, writers, creators, you're beginning something new. The possibility or the potential of something you've taken for granted is opening up to an experience of stability and security. And this can be something that you had not imagined in the past. You're certainly working with others. This is another theme that's been coming through very clearly. You're working with others to work on how this is best dispensed, how these investments, how these rewards are best distributed among you or a team of like individuals, so that you have a share in distributing resources or a share in dispensing the information that you're giving. This is, again, something I see how you may be impacting on the way an institution or organization shares its resources, dispenses its knowledge or its supplies, so that you may be actually entering into a debate about how things are learned, particularly for those of you that are in institutions of higher education or religion. For example, publishing houses, travel, ways that your messages, words, works can be distributed far and wide. So you may be engaged in a positive way in a conference, in a discourse that is about making global connections, solving some kind of global problem, or making educational resources available to people in unfamiliar places. The Seven of Cups in the 10th house is clarified by the High Priestess in the 11th house, and the Seven of Swords in the 12th house. There is so much that you have experienced as a result of your unique approach, your unique set of values, your unique expression. The way you express yourself has had to be processed through a very conventional filter or sieve or process. For those of you that are in higher education or in a charitable or religious organization, you have had to hone your unique expression, your creative voice against a lot of rules and regulations that you've had to work through and against. However, there is an ability to reflect on your experiences, particularly as you look at your failures, what you're describing or experiencing as failures or disappointments, through the lens of your treatment by others. And this is an area of a lot of heaviness, a lot of pain that I feel. And it may not appear so to others because you, Scorpio, are considered so strong, so invincible, and you are so self-contained in your expression that you don't share these experiences, your pain, your disappointment, even your humiliation or sense of being undermined or undercut easily. But you know so much more as a result of your opening up to your imaginative, creative pool. You reflect on such a vastness of experience that you've been exposed to that takes you so far beyond your former gatekeepers that you are really relishing and needing to document, to write about, to speak about, to be in conversation or negotiation with others about these new ideas, about your former beliefs and assumptions, and in ways that open you up to this new resourceful pool of creativity. So there's a gateway here as you reflect on your memories, on the past, on your former relationships, and the damage that you perceive that you've sustained, but you may have never spoken about. I'm going to pull a Soul's Journey card and ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe again. And I've pulled the card Trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And this is all about that high priestess energy that you are embodying right now, not just on your own behalf, but on behalf of the whole humankind. And I've also pulled from the language of flowers, the foxglove, and the key word is confidence. Be what you want to see. Thank you, Scorpio. Until next time, namaste.